right, folks, we're back. Sorry about that little quick interruption there. Anyway, so I stirred up the flour in the water. It's a little thicker than I want it to be, but the other problem here is that I'm working in a bowl that's not. You want your bowl and crockery to be much bigger than the amount of stuff because it's gonna rise. It's yeast. I don't have a bowl the size and shape of what I really would want. Look at that. I ripped the packet of yeast with my teeth. I don't really have a bowl the size and shape of what I might want. So I'm just going to put a plate under this and hope it doesn't make too big a mess when it swells up. That's really all there is to it. Stir in the yeast. You want to keep this away from a draft. You want to keep it warm. And we're going to let it grow for 4 to 7 days and stir it once a day. And after the end of the 4 to 7 days, it becomes sourdough starter ready to use, which is really pretty nifty. Absolute true story. I used to be a cook on a ship, and we sailed out of Lunenburg, Nova Scotia one day, and we anchored about 5 miles out, still kind of in the waterways along the coast, but away from the port. And I looked and realized I had 5 tablespoons of yeast left. Now, we still had 10 days left on that cruise, and there's no bread on board. You have to bake it all. So I kind of panicked, and I grabbed the third mate who used to be a cook, and I went, Jeremy, what are we going to do? I have 5 tablespoons full of yeast. And we totally pulled the loaves and the fishes kind of a thing out with it. We made sourdough starters. We experimented with 3 or 4 different recipes just in case one of them died on us or wasn't strong enough to leaven the bread. And we kept the starters going for over a week and made, bread for 40 people for a week every day with that sourdough. And I was really excited and proud of it because I have tried to make sourdough a lot of different times, and I hadn't really ever succeeded. So that was sort of succeed or face the wrath of the captain who's not getting his daily bread. So it was fun. So it really does work. And we will follow this over the course of the next week. See how this one works. Thanks, folks. How does that work? That was it was hard to do both at once. Hey, Michael. Hey, Craig. Where does the name sourdough come from? It's actually sour. You're actually letting it just rot, and it tastes a little bit sour. There's like a lot of acid in it. Acid is a product. Well, it's the output of the respiration. So the yeast is respiring and putting off alcohols and acidic byproducts of that chemical process, and that's what gives sourdough that sour taste. So this is awkward that I have to turn the camera around to see if I'm answering questions. Yes. So that was the only question. Yeah, and literally, picture a wagon train going across the West. They used to have a crock full of this, and they would take out a cupful in the morning and make their biscuits and their bread and whatever, and just carry the crock with them. So it would always be off and sour and yet totally usable. You want to keep everything clean so there's no weird germs in there growing, but also just the ecosystem of the yeast and the flour and how you use it and how you refresh it. Because after a week when this is ready and we use it, we will set a cup of it aside, mix it with another cup of water and a cup of flour, let that double in bulk, and then just only keep 1 or 2 cups of that in the fridge for our starter for the next time. So it's fun. Well, thanks for joining us, Craig, and I hope Buttons has a good nap. All right? Talk to you later. Bye.